for tech, this is a dream scenario. And in my opinion, it puts new tech highs now back on the table for 2025, but Apple front and center in terms of how they were exposed on the China tariffs.
So, Dan, how do you think this impacts Apple day to day? I mean, they've had to live under the sword of, boy, these 150% tariffs, and what does that mean? And well, all companies do, of course, but Apple seems to be our poster child for kind of China here. Has their policy, has their view of China changed, do you think, over the last 4, 5, 6 months?
Yeah, Paul, I think, look, obviously more hedge policy relative to India, but I think what this essentially does is it slows down significantly that shift to India, especially as you go into iPhone 17. Now you get the engines ready. China is going to continue to be the vast majority when it comes to production for iPhone. So I think that's how it changes. Is like there was a window here where this needed to change, and that's why, look, market also speaks to there's going to be no retaliatory. That was the worry about China retaliatory against Apple.
So, Dan, in your tech space, you cover everything. How do you kind of rank kind of the opportunities now? Because we wake up this morning, and it seems like a little bit of a different world here, maybe a little bit, less restrictive, a little bit more growthy outlook out there. So how does that impact your tech space?
Look, it's a game changer because the 30% realistically on the China tariffs, when you start thinking about now, we probably go 15, 20%. So Street's already seeing through that. Now you look at Apple, you look at NVIDIA, you look at chip names, TSMC and others. Those are the names, really table pounders here. And then the AI, think about the AI revolution names, right? From Palantir to Microsoft to all the hyperscalers. This now puts that key, if you think about it now, that key bull case back on the table.
Dan Ives with us, Wedbush, as we cover the field here in a momentous news 48 hours. The Standard & Poor's 500 celebrates on futures up 173 points. Nasdaq, Ives driving the Nasdaq higher at 3.95%. The VIX under 20, 19.91. Dan, I think everyone listening knows, because they own in their 401k, if not directly, Apple, and that things are down. There's a major move here from 260 down to 180, I guess a 180 level, and we've come back. Do they have pricing power? I saw luxury goods in Europe raising prices, and we've had a number of conversations, I think, at Dana Telsey in retail, where pricing power is everything. Do they have pricing power at Cupertino?
Look, Tom, I think they have pricing power to an extent, but the last thing they want to do is trip over their own shoelaces. Especially when you look at the next 2-3 years, you're basically going to have half their install base that are going to be going through upgrades. So the last thing they want to do is increase just to increase. And then all of a sudden there could be cannibalization, 5-10% of demand. So they're very well aware of that, but that's why the it goes back to tariff situation. This gives them the flexibility. They could raise in certain areas and ultimately not in others, but then also goes to the AI strategy where you now need to, really produce, especially when it comes to WWDC in June, what's coming on iPhone 17.
Hey, Dan, where is Elon Musk these days?
Thankfully, not in the White House, not Mar-a-Lago, in the factories, and what I believe is now driving the autonomous strategy for Austin in June. And that, look, it speaks to why Tesla's up, right? You need your leader back. They got their biggest asset back. And I think it's going to be viewed as a pivotal moment for the Tesla story.